Welcome back to Beyond the Sidelines. I'm Kate, your host, followed by
Will
and
George.
Yes, sir. All right, we're hopping right into it. Start off with the topics. The Combine just wrapped up this past weekend. Some standouts with Henry Ruggs, Mekhi Becton, and Tristan Wirfs.
Sure.
They were really good. We'll start with Henry Ruggs, George.
I mean, he did what we expected him to do. Ran an amazing 40. He's explosive. He's got some nice hands. He's going to be a first-round wide receiver. I expect him to go in the mid to late teens.
Mm. Yeah, Henry Ruggs was really impressive. But from another thing I noticed about the Combine this week is that the top prospects are projected in the top 5 didn't want to do anything at the Combine.
I wouldn't say no. The first 3 prospects. I would say the first 3 prospects on the board did not participate, which is Tua Tagovailoa, Chase Young, and Joe Burrow. Not in that order.
Yeah, but Chase Young didn't. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa had a reason not to. Joe Burrow just didn't want to.
Because he doesn't want to injure himself. Did you see how many people got injured at the Combine? You know, you had two of the top linebackers, Patrick Queen and Kenneth Murray, both hurt their hamstrings running. You had Jeff Okudah got hurt. You had a lot of top prospects get hurt running the Combine just because an injury can happen out of nowhere. So the less exposure you get with injuries and all that kind of stuff is the better your draft stock is going to stay high. So I think it actually is a good decision to not go to the Combine.
Do you think that the NFL Combine will turn out to be something like the NBA Combine where only the people that are fighting to get drafted will end up coming?
No. I don't believe so because I think that, remember, the NFL draft is 7 rounds. If you don't show that you have the skills, even if you're supposed to be a top 5 pick and you don't show up and somebody else that goes to the Combine shows you up, you're going to go down draft boards, right? So I don't, because this edge class wasn't that big, I don't think Chase Young had to compete. And we know for quarterbacks, it's a bit different. The only quarterback that really stood out to me was Jalen Hurts, who had an amazing Combine. But I really think it's much different because basketball was only 2 rounds, and you already know what they're going to be like because it's a lot easier to translate college basketball to NBA basketball than it is for college football players to translate to NFL football.
All right, what about Mekhi Becton? Freaking nature, man. 6'7", 364 pounds, and he ran a 5'10", 40.
Amazing. Amazing. Man,
scary.
The man moves. Just an absolute monster offensive tackle. He's going to blow some people up. Good in the pass and the run. Probably he's the best tackle on my board.
He probably runs a faster 40 than I do.
He does run a faster 40 than you do.
Probably all of us in this room.
Yes.
Yeah. No, easily. Not even. Probably. 100%.
No, 100%. No.
All right, and then Tristan Wirfs, who's just about 50 pounds lighter than Becton, but he ran a 4.85 though, so that's
really 4.85. He also jumped out of the Combine. I mean, amazing vertical, amazing broad jump. He just has a bunch of explosiveness. The only question is where he's going to play. He's a bit undersized, and they don't know how well his pass blocking. He's a great run blocker. He's a mauler. So a lot of people are thinking about kicking him into guard. So it's going to be interesting, how he can translate from college, where he was definitely the all-standing out left tackle at Iowa, and how he will translate inside. So I think that's many questions. But again, he's the 3rd tackle on my board.
Agree. I think him and Becton are going to be some freaking natures coming to the NFL, along with Ruggs and everybody else who participated.
Jonathan Taylor, also shout out to him, had an amazing Combine. Running back out of Wisconsin, just went off with the running backs.
He's amazing. He had 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
The only question with him is he had over 900 carries in college, and we don't know how much tread in his tires he has left.
I would still take him in the top 3 rounds.
No, he's still going. He'll probably go in the 2nd round.
But the question is, how long does he last?
How long does he last, though?
I think that if he takes, he'll last a while. I mean, he's played well, and he has
played well, but
Frank Gore has at one point in time was a primary back on an NFL team for the San Francisco 49ers.
But it's like Frank Gore is like a 1 in like 15 running backs.
You realize Zeke's prime days are already gone.
Yeah.
You think about it that way. You think about maybe Saquon. His first year may have been his best year. Yeah. You know what I mean? So running backs are a lot different than the other people in the NFL because quarterbacks don't wear and tear as much as running backs.
They almost get hit almost every single play.
Yeah. So running backs are going to die off. They're just gonna their first 4 years are their best years. So that's why drafting a running back in the 1st round is not always the smartest thing because you don't know how long they're gonna last.
Yeah.
That was an unfair comparison to Saquon. We all know that he's a freak of nature, and we all know that Giants team was just terrible this year.
I understand
Yeah,
that,
I
but that
Jones
still
can't-
may be his best year.
And Daniel Jones can't read a check down.
Yes, he can. You have to actually watch the tape on Daniel Jones. He's not that bad. He just has no team around him.
And no
Name a decent wide receiver he had that wasn't hurt all season.
Was it hurt all season? Golden Tate.
Golden Tate was traded. Wasn't he traded halfway through the season?
No, that's what he was last year. He signed and then got suspended for the first 4 games.
Okay, so he still wasn't there the entire season.
Yeah, he was there the entire time Daniel Jones was starting.
That's not the point. Golden Tate's not a good receiver. They're not that good of a receiver.
He's probably like back then definitely.
Yeah,
above average,
yeah,
but
back then.
now he's falling down.
Exactly. You think Saquon got hurt, Sterling Shepard got hurt, his tight end got hurt. You had all these people got hurt. And what? Name an offensive lineman on the Giants.
That's not Nate Solder,
Who's dog?
Will Hernandez.
Okay, Will Hernandez is decent, but it's a guard. For a pass blocking, you need a left tackle.
Nate Solder.
just said that.
Is terrible,
Yeah, but he's like their highest paid O lineman.
but he's awful.
But he was Tom Brady's blindside blocker for like ever.
But he sucks now.
Yeah.
You could say the
he's
same
always
thing.
going to be able to say, I was Tom Brady's blindside blocker for like 10 years.
Well, yeah. Well, Jackie Robinson was a great baseball player in the 19 whatever. I bet he hits home runs today. No, he's sitting in a grave.
Whoa.
People deteriorate over time.
Whoa.
That
That
was-
was disrespectful.
That was
Jackie Robinson should not be used in a comparison like that. Jackie Robinson is one of the greatest baseball
I'm
players
not
to ever walk
saying,
on.
I'm
That
not
was
saying he
disrespectful.
isn't. He is one of the greatest baseball players of all time, and I absolutely agree. He's amazing. But is he hitting home runs today?
No, but the way that you said it,
it's unfortunate that there's no baseball on the thing. All right, we'll move on to our George's mock draft, pick 16 to 32, George.
Okay,
So let's whip it out and let's see what you got for us.
All right. So last time we came out, the last pick we were at was the Falcons pick number 16. Took edge rusher AJ Epinesa. So the hometown Cowboys, they're going to go out with a position needs safety Grant Delpit out of LSU. He was great in his junior year. He kind of fell in his senior year knowing that he was probably going to be a first-round pick. So he didn't kind of explode as much as you wanted him to and, missed some tackles. He had some tackling problems. But he's still, if you look at his tape in his junior year, he was really, really good.
God, please don't let the Cowboys get Grant Delpit.
It's looking like they're gonna either take him or Xavier McKinney out of Alabama, who will be coming up later. At 18, the Dolphins, who acquired this pick from the Pittsburgh Steelers from Minka Fitzpatrick, they're gonna take offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa. Now this was made before the combine, so this is my rankings has been differently because right now because in this mock draft he's the fourth offensive tackle off the board, but. It definitely it's a bit different now that we've seen the combine and all that kind of stuff. But still, I think that if you're going where they picked Tua earlier in this draft, I think that they're going to need an offensive tackle to support him, and that's a great pick at 18.
Is this the pick that's supposed to replace Laremy Tunsil?
Yes. And I think that they will find an offensive tackle at pick 18, even if it's not Tristan Wirfs. Maybe it's somebody more like Andrew Thomas or Joshua Jones, who will come later. Next, the Raiders at 19 pick Henry Ruggs, wide receiver out of Alabama. Had a great combine, probably one of the fastest receivers in the draft. Now we got to see what he is going to be like without a number one receiver next to him, because you remember he had Jerry Jeudy at Alabama, and he said other number one receivers were with him. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can run without a number one. But I think this is just a guy that Gruden's going to really like, and ran amazing. He's gonna, and you're gonna have to get your quarterback a weapon. It's unfortunate they had to let go of Amari Cooper, but you're gonna have to get your quarterback a weapon.
Yeah,
Brady and
Tom,
AB
Bra-
back
Tom,
to Raiders?
Tom Brady is gonna be throwing those dimes to Henry Ruggs.
Tom Brady's not going to the Raiders.
Keep
You
thinking
heard
that.
it here first. Tom Brady is not going to be a Raider.
Here
Next, the Jaguars at 20. They just lost Telvin Smith, and we have no idea when he's coming back as he retired. So they are going to take Patrick Queen, linebacker out of LSU. This is one of my favorite prospects in the draft. If you watched him at all last season, especially during the last two games in the playoffs for LSU, I mean, he was just flying around the field. All you saw, every time you saw an amazing tackle made, it was always Patrick Queen all around the field. So this guy is just a runner. He's got amazing blasting speed. He's just, sideline to sideline tackler, just a monster at the linebacker position. One of the guys I truly love in this draft class. Next, the Eagles need a wide receiver really badly.
Oh,
They're gonna.
no, they don't. They got Greg Ward.
Okay.
And there's talks of trading Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, they're going to take T. Higgins, wide receiver to Clemson.
Actually,
I
like
think
that pick.
that's a great pick for him. They have he's a burner and he's super tall, going to be a really good deep threat for Carson Wentz. And I think that hopefully maybe if they get a little bit less of an injury bug this year, they can go off. But I definitely think that T. Higgins is a great slot for the Eagles and a great pick.
Since they won the Super Bowl, they've had the injury bug for the last 3 years.
Absolutely, but they still are also
and they've
not
made the
good.
playoffs every one of those 3 years. So this is a good team.
Sure. Next, I have the Bills at 22. Also taking a receiver, they're going to take Justin Jefferson out of Louisiana State. I mean, if you watch the combine, this is another guy. People thought he was going to run a 4.6, 4.7, somewhere in that range, as he's a tall wide receiver, 206, 6'4". He ended up running a 4.44. So blazing speed. Another guy that is basically it's basically him and T. Higgins are close. T. Higgins is a bit more of a jump ball receiver, and Justin Jefferson maybe a bit more of a route running guy. But definitely two really good wide receivers, and I definitely think that the combine boosted his draft stock. So the Bills taking Justin Jefferson at 22 is going to be I think it's going to be good. Number 23, the Patriots. Wherever you think the Patriots may pick, they're gonna pick the guy that they love the most. And Patriots head coach Bill Belichick has an amazing connection with Alabama head coach Nick Saban. So I think he's gonna take just knowing all that kind of stuff. Xavier McKinney out of Alabama, safety out of Alabama. Really good safety, kind of under draft boards right now, but I think his draft stock is gonna boost at the end. Near the end, as we're only about 2 months away. So. Definitely going to be interesting. We're going to watch all the pro days and all that kind of stuff, and that's what we have waiting for. But I definitely think Xavier McKinney is going to be an interesting prospect to watch. One of the better safeties in the draft. Reminds me a little bit of Darnell Savage last year. Next, the Vikings need a cornerback after Xavier Rhodes looked like dog on the field last year. So they're going to take Christian Fulton, cornerback out of LSU. He didn't have his greatest year and got burned a couple times in the national championship game, but still, a decent corner. Nowhere near Jeffrey Okudah out of Ohio State, but I mean, this is a position of need, and I definitely think that this is a place that they're going to want to go just because of need of corner. And Christian Fulton should be a late first, but he's definitely first round talent. Next, the Dolphins. We're trying.
Wow.
What?
3 picks first round. They better.
Yeah.
More than 4 wins.
Yeah. So this comes from the Laramie Tunsil trade.
From the Texans, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And after already getting an offensive tackle, they're going to need some help in the secondary as they traded Minkah Fitzpatrick. So that's going to come in Florida cornerback C.J. Henderson. Now, he got burnt a couple times this year. There were definitely times where he got beat off the ball. But, last year he looked really, really good, really, really solid corner. I definitely think it's going to be interesting to see how he translates to the NFL and if he keeps getting burned. He reminds me a lot of Marcus Peters, because Marcus Peters is a ball hawk, but he does tend to get beat.
Makes me sad.
It does. I know it makes you sad. Next, the Seahawks. This is not what they're going to do, because the Seahawks, they never do what you think they're going to do, and
They're going to draft another tall wide receiver.
or an edge rusher that doesn't fit their system, which they drafted last year, or something like that. But I have them taking an offensive tackle, which they've needed for 10 years.
I remember you said this last year
and the year before. And the year before. Dude, they've needed an offensive lineman for so long, so I'm going to have them take Joshua Jones out of offensive tackle out of Houston. This guy has risen up draft boards, was projected as a third-round pick early in the draft process, but now he's been rising up, and I think he's definitely a top, he's going to go in probably anywhere between 20 and 32, but he's definitely a top prospect. And then that's 5 offensive linemen that are going in the first round. That is my last offensive lineman. But there's also, if you want another interior guy to think about, Cesar Ruiz, center guard out of Michigan, looks also as a great prospect. And if he doesn't go in the late first, he's going to go in the early second round. So watch out for a guy. He just bullies people in the middle of the line.
If the Seahawks take
an offensive lineman,
Joshua Jones or any offensive lineman, if they take an offensive lineman
and have balloons,
I will get a haircut.
Party strings. We'll get a haircut. Okay.
I'll get a haircut.
Just like when George lost the Chiefs won the Super Bowl and George had to get a haircut.
Oh yes, forgot about that. All right.
We're going to move on. Ravens, after losing C.J. Mosley a year ago to free agency, they are going to take Kenneth Murray, linebacker out of Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma's defense has not been very good, but this is one of the really solid guys that they've had. Again, another guy that flies around the field, but he's more of a middle linebacker. He really does remind me of C.J. Mosley. I think he's just a come down, run down the hill thumper kind of guy. I think he's going to be a great solid piece to this Ravens defense. And if they end up losing their edge rusher, I don't remember his name for some reason.
Oh, Judon?
Matthew Judon. This will be another guy who can anchor that defense for another 5-10 years.
The Ravens are expected to use the franchise tag on Judon.
We'll see how
I don't know. Next, the Titans are going to take a cornerback after needing some secondary help. This is one of the teams that are solid all the way around, and they kind of just have to take best player available. So I have them taking cornerback Trayvon Diggs, brother of Stephon Diggs from the Vikings, with this pick. I definitely think that this is just a guy, tall, lanky, shut down, man-to-man corner. Not great in zone coverage, but definitely a guy that can perform, and he's a late first, early second round guy. So some people are higher on him, some people are lower. But I definitely just think that this is going to be an interesting. The Titans are very interesting. The Titans, the 49ers, and the Chiefs are very interesting to me, and I think that they could go any one places, or they could trade out. And if somebody has a glaring need, remember this is a mock draft with no trades. If somebody has a glaring need and they still see a guy on the board that they really, truly have fallen in love with, this is a great place for those three teams to trade out.
The Chiefs are not picked the first round for 3 years in a row. I've been bored on that first day of the draft because I didn't be able to watch it.
I would expect them to trade out.
The last pick that the Eagles made was when they traded. No, that's not true. But one of the last picks, they traded the 32nd pick to the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, and they got Lamar Jackson. Tough.
Oof.
Sad day.
Let's see. The Packers really need a wide receiver. They got to help up their quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, and they have not taken a first second round corner since they took the guy that's starring for them now.
Jair Alexander.
What?
Jair Alexander, or is he not a
It's
first
a
round
corner.
pick?
Oh, wide receiver. I am stupid. They haven't taken a wide receiver since Devontae Adams, and they took him in the second round a couple years ago. So I have them taking Jalen Reagor, wide receiver out of TCU. Got blaring speed, can play in the slot, just an all-around weapon. Is probably the second fastest receiver behind Henry Ruggs in this draft class. Just a burner, man, and he can go up and catch a lob from Aaron Rodgers out of nowhere because he's just blazed past the corners and the safeties. So I definitely think this is a good player, and the Packers need a wide receiver really, really badly. I took pair with Devontae Adams because Devontae Adams had some injuries.
St. Brown?
What?
What about Equanimous St. Brown?
Who?
I mean, his name is Equanimous.
Cares. I have the 49ers taking TCU cornerback Jeff Gladney, another kind of Trayvon Diggs kind of guy. He's tall, lanky, he's got some long arms, he's fast. Another kind of man-to-man lockdown guy. Has some of the same problems as Diggs. I definitely just think that this is, if they need secondary, this is my favorite secondary guy still on the board. So another guy that I think could definitely help the 49ers. And with the 32nd overall pick in the NFL draft, I have the Chiefs taking
Joe Burrow.
running back DeAndre Swift out of Georgia. I just think that Mahomes could use another weapon, and Williams had an amazing season, but I just don't think. I think if they can get a running back, because Swift can catch out of the backfield, it's just a munch out of the backfield. So I think that if they can find another weapon out of the backfield like that, I think that A, he can switch in and out with Williams, and B, he's just another weapon for Mahomes to use, and they don't have that much. The only other thing they need is a corner, but you saw corners kind of coming off the board at the end. So I think that what the Chiefs should do is probably trade back for a corner that they value more in the second round, more than anything, because they don't see a corner in the first. Other than that, that's my mock draft, my 1.0. I'll come back probably in the next couple weeks, and we'll have a mock draft with some traits. So
100%.
And the Cincinnati Bengals select Jacob Eason.
God, please.
All right. Last topic. Move on to basketball.
Yay.
Can anybody catch the Lakers? And if not, who gets the 2 seed? We'll start with you, George.
Clippers.
No one can catch the Lakers right now. They're just too dominant. The Clippers.
No. I don't think anybody can catch the Lakers. I think the Clippers get them 2 seed.
I think that you're still wrong because I think the Clippers' chemistry is coming to bite them towards the end of the season. I understand that Paul George is playing really well right now, and I understand that Kawhi is playing very well right now. But I still think that the Utah Jazz or Denver Nuggets is going to get the 2nd seed in the
and then blow it in the playoffs like they do every single time.
Yes, but that's not the question. The question is which team is going to get the number 2 seed, not which team is going to.
I just think that the Clippers have too much talent to not get at least a top 4 seed. I just see them getting the 2 seed over the Nuggets, who may collapse.
I see that the Clippers getting the 3rd or 4th seed. I see that, and the Nuggets or the Jazz getting the 2nd seed. And I really do like the Jazz right now. So the Jazz are probably going to get the 2nd seed, just for the sheer fact that the Clippers are they lost too many games while resting people this year.
And remember, we will get to actually see the Clippers, or not the Clippers, the Jazz in action.
What if Donovan Mitchell jumps over Kristaps?
Is March 26th?
March 26th.
It's pretty coming up.
So I hope he does, and I hope he absolutely kills Kristaps Porzingis and Kristaps tears an ACL. But that's just my.
That's just because you're a New York Knicks fan.
Yes, it is. You're absolutely right.
Remember that time the Knicks
vengeful
were going to get Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Zion Williamson, and then they had to get R.J. Barrett?
You know the last time the Kings were good?
No, I don't actually.
I don't either.
I wasn't born.
All right.
Traded away half a draft for Carmelo Anthony when they could have just waited 6 months?
Remember the time the Kings won a championship?
You're talking the Lakers was the number 1 seed.
I do.
All right.
Remember that time that the Eagles won the Super Bowl?
Remember the time when the Steelers won 6 Super Bowls?
And what was that time they won one?
2008?
How old were you?
I was like 6 or 7.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yes.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe.
Do you remember the Super Bowl? That's the real question.
I remember catching in the back of the end zone like this.
The exact score.
You remember that?
You mean the one that's been replayed over and over and over again for the last how many dang years?
Yeah, because it's the best catch in Super Bowl history.
30-41 when the Eagles
won. When?
It's all right.
2 years ago.
That's right, because now they're relevant.
Actually, they still make a push for the playoffs every year, and they play pretty solid in the playoffs.
I had them going 4 seed, remember? Anyways, being the year. I know I didn't. I had the Cowboys. Whatever. It's all right. All right. Now for everybody's favorite game, trivia. Definitely not Will's favorite game.
It's not. I have to lead every single time.
George is the reigning champ for don't know how many weeks.
I think it's 8.
Eight weeks. All right. Ever since we came back, ever since we started trivia, which when we came back from our Christmas break, that's how many games we won in a row. All right.
He's the LeVar Ball of trivia. He's undefeated and he's never lost.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going to see you later. And in about 3 seconds, you're going to see George here and Chase Dykema here, new player this week. So 3, 2, 1. Boom. We're back. New guy. Hello, Chase Dykema. How's it going?
What's up?
You know that guy, the winner all the time. Hopefully not today. All right. Trivia. You know the rules, right? Do you?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask him a question. He gets it right. He gets a point. And then goes to you for question 2. If he gets it wrong, you have a chance to steal the point, and then you would start off with question 2 with the point. And get,
Yeah.
Questions 1 through 10 are worth 1 point. Questions 11, 12, and 13 are worth 3. All right. And for the last 3, you have to ban the table. Whoever hits first, I'll choose you. You get the answer. Okay.
All right.
All right. Question 1. George, who has the fastest unofficial 40-yard dash?
Fastest unofficial 40-yard dash? CJ2K.
Moving on.
Bo knows.
Close. But it's Deion Sanders. 4-2-1.
I was going to say that originally.
So, 0 points now. All right, going on to you. Number 2. Who has the fastest 40-yard dash at the 2020 Combine?
Henry Ruggs.
Who had the, okay, yep, correct. 1-0.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This isn't rigged or anything. This isn't rigged or anything.
It's not rigged. All right, no, you should know this one. All right, all right, 1-0. Chase. Number 3. What was Rich Eisen's 40-yard dash at the 2020 Combine?
5.98.
Correct. 1-1. Number 4. Who has the fastest 40-yard dash ever?
CJ2K.
Wrong.
John Ross.
John Ross is correct.
John Ross.
That's correct. Number 5, George. It's
me. It's me.
no, the points. All right.
It's
5.
2-1.
Yeah. What was John Ross's 40-yard dash time?
4-2-2.
Correct. 3-1. All right, moving on back to Chase. Number 6. Who was the player who held the record previously before John Ross, and what was the recorded time? So I need 2 answers.
It was 4-2-4, wasn't it? And it was CJ2K.
Correct. 3-2. Question 7. Who has the record for most bench presses at the combine ever?
Quentin Nelson.
Good guess, but no.
Is it Stephen Powell?
That's close. That was second most. Second most, yes. It's Justin Ernest with 51. Stephen Powell had 49. That's
yeah.
close. Good guess. All right. Question 8, still 3-2. What year was Carmelo Anthony drafted?
2012.
No.
What? Carmelo Anthony was drafted in it's 2003.
Yes. That's correct.
Oh, my bad.
4-2, George. Number 9. Who recorded the fastest 40-yard dash in 2014? you probably hear Will after laugh. 10 seconds.
Who was drafted in 2014? What was the 2014 draft?
5 seconds. 4.
Stephon
3,
Diggs.
No. 10 seconds.
Is it Goodwin? Is the last name Goodwin? Marquise Goodwin?
That's a good guess, but no. It was Dree Archer.
He's dog, okay?
he was drafted in 2014.
As a Steelers fan, he is the most dog running back we've ever had. Man, tripped over his own feet.
It's too fast. All right, number 10. Chase, it's 3-2. Who has the most triple doubles in NBA history?
Michael Jordan.
No.
Russell Westbrook.
No, it's Oscar Robertson. 181.
I knew it was one of those two.
All right, time for the hard questions. All right. Yeah, the bang on the table, right?
All right.
Question 11. Where did coffee originally come from?
Brazil.
No.
Panama.
No. I'll give you a hint. It starts with E. Now y'all just keep here.
Ecuador.
No.
Europe.
No. Country. Don't be a Regan.
El Salvador.
No. You each get 2 guesses. 3 more guesses each. 2 more guesses. Make it faster.
Ethiopia.
Ah, it's correct. That is correct. Wow. Okay. So now it is 5-3.
5-4.
5. You're still losing.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I got the last question right. I got number 10 right.
Oscar Robertson. You said
no, I
Russell
didn't.
Westbrook. Yeah.
What was question 9?
Dree Archer.
Damn it, it's
5-3. Number 12. What year? Your closest guess. Were the pyramids of Giza built?
10,000 BC.
No.
1000 BC.
No.
5,000 BC.
No.
4,000 BC.
No.
3,000 BC.
Yes. Hey, when that happens, you start hitting. You start hitting. All right. So now we're at 6-5.
Yep.
This is it. This is the last question. All right. This question's about me. Also, right. Number 13. In the game of backyard football, what is the most touchdowns I have thrown for?
6.
Wrong.
7.
Wrong.
5.
4.
Wrong.
8.
Right.
Yes! Oh, yeah!
Oh, no. I thought Chase was going to
You
win.
can't get at me with a question like that.
That's what the question 13's for. It's the hardest one of the bunch.
Oh.
Can't do it. I was like, winner, chicken dinner, and then you just yeah, in those instances, you had to start hitting. You start saying stuff. All right. Sorry, Chase. Hey.
You know what? That was a great game.
All right, who'd you say? Who you think was your best?
Oh, yeah, that was definitely the best
Will?
one. That was the
Hey,
best
Will,
one.
how you feel about that? Will's not happy about that one. All right, we'll bring Will back in here, and we'll start our game picks. Let's get it.
Yeah! Yeah! Nobody can beat me, baby. I'm undefeated. When you walk in, it's already over. You know if you're facing me, it's done. It's done. You don't even have to question. When you watch this program, you don't even have to question it.
Whatever.
I'm a god.
Let's go to game picks.
No, you're not. Moving on.
All right, Tuesday games. We'll make it a little Sweet and simple. 76ers at Lakers.
Lakers.
Lakers. 76ers can't win on the road.
Spurs at Hornets.
Hornets.
That's a terrible game, Spurs.
Spurs. Nets at Celtics.
Celts.
Nets.
Celtics.
Oh, we need to do that. We need to bring a wolf hat. All right, whatever. Timberwolves at Pelicans.
Pels.
Pelicans.
The Pelicans are going to open up their mouths and eat the Timberwolves.
Okay.
The way that Pelicans eat food. Have you never watched Nemo before? Come on now.
Clippers at Thunder.
Weirdo. What?
Clippers at Thunder.
Thunder!
Thunder. Warriors at Nuggets.
Nugs.
Definitely the Nuggets.
Raptors at Suns.
Definitely the Suns.
Give me the Suns.
Just kidding.
Suns.
Just kidding. The Raptors are totally going to win this game.
Suns. Wizards at the Kings.
Give me the Kings.
Wizards.
I didn't even think. I forgot. I didn't even realize I said Kings.
The
Kings.
Wizards. The Wizards. Go
Kings.
Wizards.
Don't
Bradley
worry.
Beal.
Bradley Beal's dropped 50
Beal
again and
dropped
lose.
60. Drop 60. You get the win.
60.
And lose.
and
Oh,
they're still
by
gonna
the
lose.
way, the Knicks beat the Rockets last night. The Knicks beat the Rockets. Let's go. Thank you. Finally, something to cheer about. The Knicks, baby.
And they'll lose tonight. Or whenever-
Yes.
Or whenever they play again. Which is.
You're not wrong.
Watch, they're gonna go to just like
Wednesday.
they're just gonna like show up to like some high school game and get beat.
You know, I don't like that. I don't like your attitude.
All right, and we'll do Wednesday games. Celtics at the Cavs.
Celtics
Back
are
to
having
back. Celtics, and they're gonna win.
They back to back. One's at home, one's away. I feel bad for them. But they're all, both on the East Coast. All right, what'd you say? Celtics?
Celts.
I give Celtics too.
Give me the Celtics. Is this even a question?
It was since I asked it.
Ah, darn. You got-
Thunder at Pistons.
Give me the Thunder. What comes
Thunder.
after lightning?
Pistons.
Thunder.
Just kidding. Thunder. Pacers at the Bucks.
Wait. Hold on. Did anyone else get that reference? The Cars reference that I just made right there?
No.
What comes after lightning? Thunder. Oh, okay.
Pacers at the Bucks.
The Bucks.
Bucks.
Giannis is gonna drop 50 and 20.
Magic at Heat.
Heat.
Magic.
Grizzlies at the Nets.
The who?
Grizzlies at the Nets.
Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies for me.
Grizzlies.
Jazz at the Knicks.
The Jazz are going to
Jazz.
go into Madison Square Gardens and drop 150 points.
Yep.
Donovan Mitchell's going to have 50. Rudy
Yep.
Gobert's going to have 50.
Yep.
And the Knicks are going to have 2.
Yep.
Jazz. Bulls at Timberwolves.
The Bulls beat the Mavs last night, so I'm going to go with the Bulls.
Timberwolves.
Bulls. Pelicans at Mavericks.
Pelicans.
Pelicans.
Yeah, the Mavs just lost to the Bulls, who has Zach LaVine cussing at his coach. So that means that they're not very good right now. Give me the Pelicans.
Wizards at the Trailblazers.
Bradley Beal is going to drop enough
100.
points.
100. And
Enough points for them to win, but they're still going to lose because
No,
they're
he
the
won't.
Washington Wizards.
The Trailblazers. Melo goes off for 20.
Dame goes off for 60.
Whoa, 20.
Dame goes off for 60.
It's more than you've ever made.
You and me combined.
Actually, I've scored 20 in a game before. So.
I've scored 0 in a game because I haven't played a game in like 6 months.
All right.
When?
And there is no more game picks. So
All right.
that's going to be the last show for obviously this week because
Yep.
we don't do 2 shows. But we won't be here next week. We have spring break. So I'll be sitting back.
It's going to be lit. I'm going to be working and making cash.
When?
Good job. Get the bag. Get the bag.
And I'm going to show up next
Did I
week.
ask?
I'm going to get my King's hat. It's going to come in.
All right. So we'll see y'all in 2 weeks. I think March 17th. That's the exact day. Yeah, March 17th. So we'll see you there. Peace.
Peace.